I'm John Batchelor with Larry Kudlow of CNBC and Kudlow Radio on the Weekend, and Bill Whalen of the Hoover Institution discussing debate prep for next Monday night before the globe watches the two presidential candidates. Bill, weaknesses. What is a weakness for Mrs. Clinton that we'll notice right away? What is a weakness for Donald J. Trump that we'll notice right away?
Well, when it comes to specific plans for Hillary, specifically the economy, she at best has warmed over leftovers from Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and the likes, and it's just really nothing as interesting as her husband back in 1992, and nothing that from the likes of what I can see is really going to fix the economy. So what's she going to do to create jobs? That's her problem. In terms of Donald Trump's weaknesses, pretty simple. It's temperament. It's a variation of the commander-in-chief question that Reagan faced in 1980. But with Reagan, it was a question whether or not he was going to lead us into a nuclear war with Russia, a hot war with Nicaragua and Central America. But people saw in that debate that he was hardly the sequel to Dr. Strangelove. With Trump, the challenge is temperament, John and Larry, and can he be suitably presidential? One thing I would seriously advise him against doing is don't mug for the cameras. Don't be theatrical. Don't be a Berlusconi on the stage. Be Thatcher. Just don't be that guy.
I never met him, Berlusconi. I wish I had. Anyway, the economy. Every single poll shows economic growth, jobs, wages. You can go down the list.
And that's been the same since the first primary, Larry.
That's correct. And Trump has now gotten down very nicely his economic plan with tax cuts and deregulation and energy, and I would add in repealing Obamacare. He's got a strong growth plan. Pardon the phrase, he has a John F. Kennedy-esque and Ronald Reagan-esque growth plan based on tax cuts. So if it were me, I would say keep going back to that. It's the number one issue. And as Bill said, she's got warmed over Bernie Sanders. I mean, it's just far left stuff, raising taxes across the board, going after rich people. It's just such a boring cliche after 8 years of Obama and his lousy economy. I don't think anyone's going to buy it except the hardcore left. This is Trump's great opening. Contrast, he has a recovery prosperity plan that will provide incentives and opportunities for all. She has a recession stagnation plan, which, by the way, we basically tried under Barack Obama. I mean, he's going to be dealing with a variety of issues. I'm sure social issues will come up in healthcare, but he should keep coming back to that because the polls are so overwhelming that the economy... what did I see? Byron York, a very good conservative columnist in Washington, had a poll in Ohio. I believe it was a Bloomberg poll. When you grouped all the economic issues together, 64%, number one issue, economy. Really nothing else was close. Now, there are going to be other issues, but I would really, if I were he, just keep hammering away on that. Because you know what? Growth may not solve every problem under the sun, but I can't think of one that growth won't help. And no matter where the conversation turns, inequality, wait a minute, we need growth. Inequality, wait a minute, we have to tackle poverty, and one way to do that is growth. You see where I'm going on this.
Bill, is Donald J. Trump in a position to lead with the economy? Because his rallies do not lead with the economy. They lead with law and order, with national security, with immigration, always immigration, with Mexico, but he does not get out and talk tax policy to his rallies. Is he ready to do that on Monday night, knowing that it's not what you'd say a rally cheer that he's going to get immediately?
Well, he better be ready to do it, or else he will be wasting the first of 3 nights to do this. He has to understand that he is speaking to a different audience than he is when he's in front of those 5 or 10,000 people. Number one, he's speaking to people who already are on board with him. And secondly, he's speaking to a very specific issue, which is immigration, sometimes tailored to national security, sometimes to cultural values, America off the rails, blah, blah, blah. But he's not talking about the economy. Now he's speaking to a different audience, which is just not in national scope, but it's also a select number of independents who are still undecided, still trying to decide which of these two candidates they're going to abide by. He needs to speak to their concerns, not those of the base, not of core Trump supporters. And Larry's absolutely right. The concern for these people, the overwhelming concern, is the economy. So if he doesn't drive home the economy ad nauseum in this debate, it is a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, boy, do I agree with that. And even on immigration, okay, to me the issue there, Bill, is national security / terrorism / ISIS, especially after these most recent bombings. And I would go there. You know, they're going to get into they're going to get into security, national security, and so forth. But I kind of, if I heard you right, the issue of immigration, I would really tie that to national security. You know, we've let all these people in. We don't know who the hell they are. There's a big story about how, 800 people were mistakenly let in. That's the kind of thing. She wants all these Syrian refugees to come in. We don't know who the hell they are. And, you know, you got all these people going back and forth to Afghanistan like this crazy bombing kit. You know, I would tie that, because immigration, by the way, a lot of polls, immigration's way down the list. I hate to say that, but it's true.
It's at the bottom, Larry.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So to me, immigration becomes a national security issue, as does border security become an anti-terrorist issue. She won't go there because she doesn't have a policy on any of that stuff, and what she has is completely out of step with the rest of the country, I think.
Bill, we just have 20 seconds right now. If I understand the Commander-in-Chief question, it's for Donald J. Trump to hold his temper, to not do shtick. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, he's not a hothead. That he's actually a guy who understands how to calmly and rationally govern and make decisions. He's not going to lead us into very bad decisions overseas, plain and simple.
Easy enough, a low bar to be a gentleman. Bill Whalen of the Hoover Institution, a gentleman. Larry Kudlow of CNBC and Kudlow Radio on the Weekend, a gentleman. And I'm John Batchelor.